Oh my goodness. Wait till I tell y'all this story. You're gonna laugh and then you're gonna relate. I'm just like, okay, did this just happen? Yeah, that just happened. All right, let me just make it public. Yes, we are public. Now, one more spot. Okay, there we go. Well, so yesterday, I'm about to have my first guest in the Healing House of Roses. I have uh, two guests coming in today, and then I have another guest coming in on Friday. So I'm out and I'm just, preparing, making sure I have everything I need. And, I already did really, but, I just wanted to make sure. So I was out at the store and the lady said, Merlin, she said, join the meeting. So are you a senior citizen in age? She was like, because she said, you don't look like it, but are you? And I was like, okay, why you asking me that question? She was like, because it's senior citizen day, so if you're 55 and older, you get 10% off. I said, oh yeah, I'm 55 and older, I get 10% off. So I got 10% off. And on my bill, that took off like $20. So I was cool. But it raised like some thoughts. Some thoughts came up. The thoughts like, yo, you over 50, dog. Yo, you somebody grandma, dog. Like, what's going on? So, what you say? Stop. So all of that came up like a rushing of thoughts. More than half your life is gone. Your kids is grown. What you gonna do now? What you doing? Oh my God, you got more years behind you than you do got in front of you. And I can tell you, when my mom and dad, when my mother passed away, I started to calculate from my dad died at 66. He died early of heart disease. My mom died at 71 of cancer. And I'm thinking 66, 71 with good health on top of that and taking care of myself. Maybe I got to like I'm 80. Like I literally start calculating a death date for myself. And I'm thinking, how many of us are doing that? And so they say that people suffer from this midlife crisis or midlife. Is it a crisis or is it really a myth? Or is it something that's brought on by stresses like are you are you uh are you a senior citizen? Who asked that question? And it just brought up so much stuff. And so as we start to age, some of us do fall in this like midlife crisis. And they say, is it really a crisis or is it just something that somebody told us that we might experience because we know we about to go over the hill? We going over the hill? Are we over the hill? Like what is this stuff? And then they said it's something like the you effect. So when you're born, like you at your top, you at your high, you all, you good, everything, your parents taking care of you and all that, and then somewhere around in your 30s you start to dip. So you come like right to the bottom, right? But then like somewhere in there you go right back up because you done figured some stuff out and now you go back up at the end of your life. Or what they're considering the end, like the beginning of the end. So it's like a U. So it says your happiness is a U. So you start here, you go down, around, and you go back up. Happiness is a U. You believe that? I don't believe that. Listen. I think that we are in control 100%, and I do believe the midlife crisis is not real. It's something that somebody told us that we supposed to have, and then because somebody told us that we supposed to have, people do it. So when we start to really age, right? We start looking back on the earlier decades of your life, right? You start looking back like, what did I do? And sometimes you look back at it kind of, cool, finally, and then, sometimes you look back at it and you just like, what was I thinking? You look back at it with regret and like, why didn't I do this? And I should have done that and all that kind of stuff. But the approach to middle age, for some people, they start to dread it. And so if that's you, guess what? According to all this research, you're not alone. You're not alone. This is a thing. This is a thing. So, and I know because I've experienced it, and her asking me that question yesterday really just like sent me on a thing. Now, if I was somebody else, if I wasn't Darlaina Rose, that could have sent me on a whole spiral, like, oh my God, I'm old, I'm this, I'm that, like all kinds of things. I mean, it came up, but I was able to process it and say, yeah, but we all good over here. Some people may not be able to do that. So that's why I decided we should talk about it. Because truly, you might feel like certainly the best years of your life are already behind you, leaving you with like nothing to look forward to, uneventful days because the kids are grown and gone, a purposeless existence because you don't really know what you want to do. And really, all you got to look forward to is a slow decline of your mind and body.
Yes.
And I'm just like, no, 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 absolutely not. And so, I mean, I think about like some of the people that I see, like it's very easy for us to fall into this, oh, I'm getting older, the aches and pains is coming, I accept it, the gray hair is coming, the wrinkles is coming, my body shape is not quite where I want it to be, it's coming, and you just be like, I'm good with that. Nah, we not good with that. Listen, look at the Ernestine Shepherds of the world. Just started working out when she's 56. That's me. I just joined the gym last week. 56, just now getting started. Guess what? I'm just getting started, right? Then you got this other woman. She was on Steve Harvey. She was in her 80s and she doing push-ups on her fist with one arm. What is the difference between them and us? You can accept your body shape. You can accept these aches and pains. You can accept these wrinkles, the gray hair, and all that. You can accept it if you want. But I promise you, I'm not. Oh, I'm just gonna keep.
It's funny that you said that because they just had it on the news. Pre-COVID was the average life expectancy today is 81 for women and 76 for men. But after COVID, now it went down to 70 something for women, and it's getting going lower. But
again, that is for average people. If you on this call, if you are on this call, if you are within the sound of my voice, you are not average. So that none of this story, studies, things that they have come up with,
I agree.
Apply to us. It don't. And so as we start to face these existence concerns and come to terms with where we are, and that your life can really take a different shape than what you even envision or what the world is envisioning for us. They are literally, I think that was Laverne just said it, mind control. They really are telling you, expect to have a midlife crisis. They telling you, expect to grow old, not gracefully. They telling you to expect these aches and pains, expect this weight gain, expect these wrinkles, expect this gray, and in expectance of it, we want you to accept it. I'm like, accept? No. 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 I'm going to the gym, I'm working out. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm eating right. I'm exercising. And guess what? I'm being with fun, happy people.
That's it.
If you ain't fun and happy, you can't hang out with me. Talking about, oh girl, we gotta just stay in the house. What? Man, listen, I'm like the comedian that say that's that old B in the club. That's me, the old B in the club. We out. We doing. I went skating. There's a Cascade skating rink is a couple exits up from me. I went skating, and when my guests come in, I think that we're going to go skating tonight. I have a double dutch class that I go to, double dutch aerobics. So much fun. Make your butt hurt though. Ooh.
Biking.
Biking. My bike is in Philly, so I'm gonna pick my bike up, bring my bike here.
At the gym. They got them at the gym right there for you.
No, I want the one where I can ride in the street.
Oh,
only up and down my block. Or on a bike trail. No, not on the street for real. Like I did when I was 17. No, we're not doing that. And so that, and then like I'm looking for other ways to bring movement and physical involvement in my life. And so if you like me, like going to the gym and working out in the house, that's cool. But we got to do some more fun stuff. So that's why I added double dutch aerobics. That's why I added skating. And now I just found a class for Afro beats and soca dancing. So I gotta take 2 dance classes. And so you gotta find that thing that you can do that don't feel like you exercising.
They got pole dancing too.
Listen, I did that. And I have a new respect for strippers, exotic dancers, adult entertainers, whatever you want to call them, because you have to have such upper body strength to pull your body up, and I don't have it. So that class was not fun. I did it. I went 3 times, and it was not fun. So yes, they have pole dancing classes too. They have sensuality classes where you can learn to floor dance or dance with a chair. I've done those too. All of those types of classes will help you to exercise without exercising. And so we don't want to fall in our age group. Fall in this thing, we accept what our bodies are doing. We are in control. We have to take control. The basis of this call says take control of your life, because if you don't, someone else will. So you have to take control of the physicality of your body, because if you don't, your body will take control of you. And next thing you know, you got knee pain, you got back pain, you got shoulder pain, you got this, and then you can't do nothing because everything hurt. But if you do it now, and you don't have to start big. You could start right in your house. Right in your house. I might just take the steps. I might just walk up and down the steps 3 times real quick, and that's it. When I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure, right, the doctor, the naturopathic doctor told me to eat natural and organic, drink 8 glasses of water, and exercise for 15 minutes a day. That's it. 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes a day does not require a gym, does not require tools. It just requires you to move your body for 15 minutes a day. That's it. And so when you think about all this stuff, you know, the media and all that makes you start soul searching, which is common. But only 10 to 20% of people actually face some kind of crisis at middle age. And so, and I know that's not nobody that I know. You know, and most of the experts that consider things a midlife crisis say it can also be fueled by your culture. You know, people telling you, "Oh, mom, you old now. Grandma, you old now," and then us accepting it. You know, and in the Western world where we live, is fueled by The tired media telling us.
Join the meeting.
The media is telling us this. This is what we should expect. And then while the media is telling us this, they also giving us all these commercials for the medications that we should go ask our doctor for if you're experiencing these things. You got a headache. Oh, you need this for migraines. Go tell your doctor about it. So now it's taking you from allowing your doctor to be your doctor, and you are now becoming your doctor because of something that you saw on television. And even though it said you're going to be walking through the meadow and you're going to be swimming and you're going to be doing all these fun things when you take this medicine, but then at the end of the commercial, it starts telling you how it can cause this brain and that stomach, and your leg going to fall off and two of your fingers going to turn up, and all this kind of stuff. And people go right to their doctor and say, I want that. We don't want that. So just know that there's going to be some changes that come up with this new stage in life. And it's going to bring up some complex emotions sometimes. And the feelings may not necessarily spark a crisis, but absolutely are worth exploring. And I really like this campaign that they started last year, that it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay, as long as we figure out how to take care of ourselves, how to do the things that's necessary when we get triggered in a negative way.
Shit off.
Yeah, turn it off.
It's amazing. Let me say something to you.
Yes.
Because, a lot of us, watch this. What did we say? What to say when you speak your words?
Yeah.
Many of us even associate it where I remember I went to the senior citizen home, and the lady said, she sat there, and it's like here's a couple of things that triggered that. Because when you said, the lady asked you, were you a senior citizen, right? Now watch this. I don't think it's that you have to, when you think, they say, are you, one day I remember you saying, with the things you would say to your kids. I ain't no grand. No, I'm not. No, don't even don't. You got upset because your kids called you mom. They looking like, don't even. I swear to God, it's just like you look at your picture, you look at your son. You would never tell. You would think you were his girlfriend. Period. Right? We was up there in the casino the other day, and at the end of the day, anybody ever gets carded?
Yes.
When they act let me see your ID. A lot of us got upset with these. These are things that means you're going through these places because, like you just said, your thoughts. When he asked you where you see, you say your thoughts, and that's when you got to be like, stop, mother.
Yeah.
Put on the brakes.
Yes.
So I want this whole conversation today is true.
Yeah.
And I think what I was looking at Mumford, and it's like you're expecting your aches and pains. You're supposed to have bad needs, or oh Lord, and then you just automatically, I don't feel like going nowhere. Let me tell you, you better have you some superpower friends.
Yes.
Going up to the casino tonight. We was up there last night. Yes. It doesn't matter where you go skate tonight. Yeah. These are the things, you know what I mean? You gotta,
you gotta move. You gotta move because we can get, at this age, we truly can get into a sedentary lifestyle. And what will happen is people be inviting you to stuff, and they keep inviting you, and then you become the one that never comes out. Oh, don't even ask her because she ain't coming.
Oh my God.
You, but you ain't coming. And then as you are doing that, it really is not good for you. It is not good for the people who are inviting you. They want you in their company. And so you don't know what might happen when you go outside. I started a whole new thing. I've been doing it for years, but now I've kind of named it. I met a couple of weeks ago, and that couple is coming back to my house. It's people that we meet that we keep. So now I'm like, I talk to people, and that's what I say. Oh, I'm keeping you. And they're like, what does that mean, to keep you? It means that you are somebody that I believe can be beneficial to my network of friends, because all my friends are dope. All my friends are amazing. And so if I invite you to be a part of my circle, then that means that you're amazing too. And so we get to keep these people. And so as we keep those people and we do the things that we do, we are now building the folks that we're going to be around. And a lot of times, if they're younger, that means that you're mentoring them. If they're older, that means you're getting mentored. And so, all of the while, keeping your mindset in place. And who knows, those are the people that you get to talk to when you're not feeling okay. I met this lady in the supermarket, Miss Joni Hole. She's looking at the food and she just starts talking to the food. Now, y'all know y'all ain't right. How come you ain't got my Parmesan shrimp in here? Man, I had my mouth set on. She just was having a whole conversation out loud. And I'm looking at her like, really? I said, what happened? You don't got what you need? It started this whole conversation. She was such a comedian, so funny. She works in security and all that kind of stuff. She's a little bit older than me. I said, Miss Joni, I want to tell you a story. Just like that in the store. I said, I'm keeping you. So in my August issue, you're gonna see Miss Joni and her story. And so many people you're gonna get to meet by going outside. You have to go outside. And I know a lot of people are shell shocked now because of the pandemic and all that kind of stuff. We cannot live in fear. I promise you, if our ancestors can get through slavery and not having medicine and not having everything they need, we darn sure could get through a pandemic.
Amen. Amen.
So it's no excuse for none of that people be talking about. So what exactly is middle age anyway? Like, what does that mean? So midlife is generally accepted as years between 40 and 60, but there's about 10 years wiggle room either at the beginning or the end of that range. So, and what happens is there's new roles, new responsibilities, not to mention changes in your career, your family life, your health. And this can all create the perception of middle age before you even reach 40. Because some people, like me, I got married when I was 18. I had my first child when I was 19, my second child when I was 21, and my last child when I was 32. So now that I'm grown, my kids grown. Like, I'm not even really in it. Like, I'm not really grandma age, but I'm already grandma because I started early. They say early start, early finish. And so you get pushed into these thoughts of what is middle age? What is middle age? Who came up with that? And so again, having your children young and you're still in your 30s when they leave home, or early success, makes you retire early, or you know, because you've done all this work early in age. Now you've gotten to a place. Okay, I made all the money, but I don't got no wife and I don't got no kids. I made all the money, I don't got no husband, I don't have no kids. Everything has been my career. So now how do I hurry up and get back? Men have a little bit more time than women. Oh my God, I'm approaching middle age. I didn't have no kids, and all these things come up. So technically, that just means that these types of emotions can come up at a different point for everybody. So let's talk about what the supposed signs are. So this whole notion of midlife crisis comes from this psychoanalyst named Elliot Jock. He came up with the term in 1965 after noticing some changes in some of his clients. He was a therapist, and so in the article that he wrote, he said that when his clients started reaching, their 40s, they started, having these different things. So he termed it midlife crisis. And the funny thing, in 1965, when he wrote this article, he was in his 40s himself. And so perhaps, just perhaps, some of the things that he was talking about was his own awareness of his own limitations and his own mortality. And then going
That's the reality.
on other people and then coin this phrase midlife crisis. So,
Right.
some of the things that come up, you can absolutely prompt feelings of depression and anguish and loss relating to what you think is the approaching end of your life. You could suffer from loss of creativity, loss of confidence, along with these first inklings of mortality. The transition to middle age is often suggested with, you know, uh, all this other emotional turmoil like declining happiness, and satisfaction with your life, aimlessness or loss of life purpose, full of self doubt, frustration with changing life roles and responsibilities. I am not frustrated that my kids is not in my house.
Amen.
I am not. Thank you. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Okay.
Hallelujah. Glory, glory, glory.
Or
Hallelujah.
getting bored or dissatisfied with your relationship, your career, or life in general, or concerns about your appearance and how others perceive you, thoughts about death, the meaning of life, and other emotional concerns that come up, changes in your energy levels, increased restlessness and unusual fatigue, less motivation or interest in pursuing goals, activities you used to enjoy, and then these mood changes, including anger and irritability and sadness, changes in even sexual desire. All of these things happen. They're gonna come up, but it's all in how you perceive it. Because guess what? If you say it's good, like I say it's good, it's all good.
All good.
But if you say it's bad, guess what? You right about that. It's bad too. So whatever you call it, that's why we know to call it all joy. Because whatever you call it, that's what it's going to be. If you call it hard, it's hard.
Amen.
If you call it bad, it's bad.
Yep.
But if you call it a thing, something that just came up that you got to overcome, a challenge, then that's what it is. I went to say something about doing something with my website. I said, oh, that's hard. And I hurried up and pulled that word back. Hard is hard. So we're not going to call it hard. We're going to call it just what it is. So we want to break down these gender stereotypes. Popular culture will have you to believe that men and women experience these completely different types of crises. The so-called male midlife crisis might involve fancy cars, unfinished household products, affairs with younger women, or even starting brand new families. But a so-called female midlife crisis, on the other hand, is supposed to involve weepiness and decreased interest in sex and attempts to cling to your youth. But gender doesn't automatically decide how you're going to feel about aging. Anyone can feel distressed about looming changes in health, sexual desire, brain function, and then these binary stereotypes are limiting and harmful, especially for the LGBTQ community who doesn't identify as male or female.
So, oh my God.
So where they at? They just lost in the sauce, right? So that said, add on, good morning, add on menopause-related hormonal changes, which can intensify physical and emotional discomfort. I know, in it, hard and heavy, definitely understand it. And of course, society does tend to link female beauty and desirability to youth. But baby, all you got to do is look at people like Angela Bassett,
hello,
Diana Ross, Diana Ross.
Come on now.
Listen, Diane Carroll, baby. Woo. Beauty is definitely not attached to being young, honey. Cause Patti LaBelle, yes, and I just met her too. And I'm listen.
I like Tina Turner.
Come
yes,
on.
Tina Turner too. Well, when I talked to the personal trainer, he asked me what I want. I told him, I said I want Angela Bassett arms. I want
Tina Turner
legs, and Janet Jackson's stomach. Hey, he asked me what I want. That's my wish list. So listen, you get to choose. You get to choose. So the result of what, yes, Gladys Knight too, for sure. A common result is that middle-aged women are often pushed into the role of caregivers, and so then they get sexually ignored, and so then they kind of let themselves go a little bit, and it's just like, it's whatever. And so you can either accept that, or you could just say, hell no, we ain't going. Hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. You can accept it or not. I am on the not accepting that I'm a senior citizen. I mean, I accept that I'm a senior citizen and I'm good with that. I'll take all of the perks and everything that come along with that. I accept where I am in life, but I will not accept uh, what they say, aging gracefully, just letting age take you. Well, that's aging gracefully, honey. Give me my black dye. Give me, get me in the gym. Get me to the dance class and get me to the club because I am not aging gracefully. If that's what they call aging gracefully, sitting up in the corner becoming big mama. I don't think so. That's not my life. That's
no. Wearing them old granny dresses.
Oh no, granny pants, moo-moos and stuff. No, no, I'm not wearing a moo-moo. Matter of fact, I'm kind of a Savage Fenty kind of girl. I'm a Rihanna girl in here, honey. Rihanna and her whole line of stuff that she got. That's where it's at. So there's different stages. So experts consider the midlife crisis to be more of a myth than anything else. Because guess what? There is no scientific evidence. There is no evidence backed to any list or key signs that clearly define stages of a midlife crisis. Much of what people generally believe about midlife crisis tends to come from what? Media portrayals, not scientific evidence.
Wow. We talk.
Okay.
Wow.
So in reality, the factors triggering age-related distress and emotional tension can vary a lot for most people based on your unique situation and circumstances. So listen, just stay busy. So if you do experience some age-related distress, it may fall in some stages. So one could be the trigger. The trigger, like, are you a senior citizen in age? To imply you look good, but you might be old. So it might be just that moment of tension that leads to concern over aging, right then and there. And it makes you think about, your life purpose and, start calculating death dates like I did. Or job loss, health concerns, death of a parent. As I told you, as soon as my mother passed away, I started calculating how old she was, how old my dad was, how old my aunts were, how old the people directly related to me, how old they were all, added up all their ages and came up with an average age of death for me is somewhere in my 80s. And that's only because I'm going to couple good health and supplementation and eat it right and exercise, so I should live longer than them. So it could be that, it could be illness, it could be the children moving out, or even your day-to-day overwhelm could push you into that. And so the second thing that could is a crisis. You start to examine some of these doubts that you have. It could be your relationships, your own values, your sense of self about you. And if you don't like what you find out, you might feel lost and uncertain and unable to reshape your life. But you should start exploring new passions, your own identity, new or revitalized sexual and romantic connections. And so the resolution to the crisis, so to speak, gently ends with you feeling more comfortable with yourself and begin to accept perhaps even welcome what is in store, because it's coming regardless. And so you can, so somebody said, "Oh, I want to go back to school. I want to get my doctorate." I'm like, "Oh, that's amazing." She said, "Yeah, but I'm too old." Too old? How long is it going to take? Oh, it's probably going to take 3 4 years. Okay, 3 or 4 years. Are 3 or 4 years going to pass anyway? You plan on being alive through these 3 or 4 years? Well, yeah. Well, then go on back to school if that's what you want to do. Whatever you want to do, the time is irrelevant because the time is going to pass anyway. So you get to choose how you're going to spend it. And so again, this whole thing with the you, we start at the top when we're born, and and this is research. They found evidence to suggest that happiness and general satisfaction with life takes the shape of a U. It begins to decline in early adulthood, eventually reaching its lowest point in mid to late 40s. But then it begins to rise again and they find it's pretty much universal and it holds true. And you can think about your own life, where you were in your 30s and 40s and how you felt about your life. That whole dip, and it's like I remember that dip. I remember not being in that dip a long time, but being in that dip thinking, what am I doing? Where am I going? What's happening? And then once you accept you for you, once you find your life purpose for the second half of your life, then it starts to go back up again because you like, I got this. Let's go. And so they did studies over all these people in 132 countries around the world. And that's what they found, independent of any other outside factors that might affect life satisfaction and happiness. That's what they found. They don't understand why this dip happens, but some believe it could represent just an evolutionary stage. In any case, it kind of may help you to understand any distress you might be experiencing right now and really offer some reassurance that these feelings are not permanent. And so that leads me to, there's really no set time for for a feeling like this. It's no set time. People work through these difficult and unpleasant emotions in different ways, and the process doesn't is not the same for everybody. So if you find yourself trying to come to terms with aging and you know these concerns you have, you might resolve them feelings within weeks or months, or like me, in hours. It didn't even take hours. It was really minutes for me because it made me laugh. I'm just like, really? And so, but on the other hand, some people, when they face these new stressors, complications on top of the stress that you may already have been experiencing, and so that could turn this crisis into months or even years. So example could be your child heads off to college. You're looking forward to renew your relationship with your husband or wife, and then one of your parents gets sick, and then you automatically turn into a caregiver again. You suffer now with general exhaustion, and then the fear for their health takes over your romantic relationships because you're now devoting all your time and energy, to them. And so now your husband or your wife is kind of left in the dark, and they kind of understand, but it doesn't change what they need and what you need. And so the tension between you start to add stress, and then the worries bubble up. Will they cheat? They didn't sign up for a sick parent. What if I get fired because I'm barely at work? But unless you directly address these concerns, they are likely to linger. So don't linger. Don't linger. Handle it and get it done with. Get it done with. Don't linger. I think about how many days I wasted crying over breakups with boyfriends. How many times I spent time lingering in something that is over with, that I have no control over. We don't got no control over. So why are we lingering here? So age-related distress begins sometimes when people realize their own mortality and come up against perceived thought, perceived restrictions of age. Perceived. There are many, many examples that you can grow old gracefully or not. The Ernestine Shepherds of the world, starting a whole workout situation at 56. And I'm certain that if you did a Google search, you can find many, many more. She is just one of the ones that they attach the name to a face to that process. But it's only as late as you perceive it to be. So you can let your perceptions tell you that you're too old, or you can get out here and go skating. Meet me at Cascade tonight. And so other things too, culturally, the things that happen. People consider youth to be a desirable commodity, and there's a wide range of anti-aging products and procedures on the market that will only emphasize that you need to maintain your youth or find health and experience at any cost. That's why you got people Botox in their face and getting surgery and all these different things. Listen, no. These cultural assumptions all about age come into play, and they associate aging with unwelcome physical and mental changes. I do not listen. That might be for somebody else. This is not me, because I'm not thinking about that. I am excited to wake up every morning, to get my day started, to write down the things that I'm grateful for and the things that I want to accomplish in my day, the things I want to accomplish in my week. I've done more after 50 than I did before 50 because I was too busy raising kids and all that kind of stuff. And I am committed to living an amazing life and being the evidence of what you can do after over 55. I guess when you over 55, when you got to start like what they say, you got to round up. So 55 and older. Guess what? I could go to one of those communities and live in there, right? Somebody told me, "Oh, you can live in a 55 and older community." I said, "Why would I want to live there? I don't want to live there. I don't want to live in a 55 and older community. Nope." Well, they have fun too. That's cute. Not for me. For some people, maybe, but not for me. And so other things come into play: weight gain, poor health and pain, declining attractiveness and sexual desire, relationship changes, memory loss, loss of financial security and income. All these things happen in as middle age approach. And so you might be afraid because of what you're experiencing, especially if you have not gotten to certain milestones like purchasing a house, getting married, publishing a novel, like whatever it is. But at the same time, those very milestones that you achieve can also factor into midlife crisis. Like, oh my God, I got a house. Oh my God, what I'm gonna do? I got this house. What I'm gonna do. So all these, I mean, it's always the glass half full or the glass half empty. It's however you see it. It's however you perceive it. So parents who define themselves by their role as parents may feel a sense of loss of purpose. I've seen that. Like one of my friends, her mom, all her kids are grown, so now she takes my girlfriend's kids. I mean, takes them, like takes guardianship and takes them to school and in their life every day. Like I'm just amazed. Like yeah, I'm not doing that. They could come over, but I don't want to be nobody's second mama and have to do all that. Mm-mm. And so parents who juggle work and childcare, plus the majority of the mental load might be, to do it all. But more than likely, they face a breaking point because everybody gets to a point where it's just too much. So how do you handle it? First, acknowledge how you feel. You might feel tempted to ignore your frustration and hope it goes away. Pushing the feelings aside usually does not help. We keep compartmentalized. We push it down, push it down, push it down, push it down. And eventually it's like Jack in the Box. You're going to explode. So you want to examine that. So take stock of specific concerns like talking to your loved ones. Keep a daily journal. You can even begin the process of self-discovery by pondering open-ended questions like, when do I feel most satisfied and content? When do I feel most satisfied and content? Who do I enjoy spending time with? What gives my days meaning and purpose? And how do I take care of my own needs? Remember, your life is expanding, it's not shrinking. Just acknowledge the onward march of time and empower yourself to take charge of what you can control. Yes, you're growing older, but your life is far from over. And your choices don't need to align with what sort of society's idea of middle age is. A lot of people end a point of a crisis by resigning themselves to these limitations, but by realizing that there is a wealth of possibilities open to you. So many things. Maybe you feel like renewed by embracing new interests, creativity outlets like going dancing. Maybe you realize you'd like to change your diet, dress a different way, go back to school, or go out on dates. The opportunities lie within your grasp. Doing things that make you happy can help you to regain your sense of confidence, purpose, and joy. You only have one life. After all, it's not too late to start living it for you. Take stock of your relationships, especially marriages and long-term partnerships. They change over time. So sometimes change leads to these old, as we get older, leads to unmet needs that can lead to conflict. But people can work through difficult and unpleasant emotions. Glennon Doyle said, "We can do hard things." I love that about her. I love that statement. We can do hard things. So there's different ways you can process. It doesn't always happen smoothly, but we can figure it out. You can find it easy to come to terms with aging, with the concerns around aging. You can handle it quick. It don't have to be something long. You know, Tense and strained relationships too can leave everybody unhappy, and so these changes can happen with children, friends, parents, partners, and can lead you feeling lonely. So consider if your emotional and physical needs have shifted. You can get more insight with therapy for yourself, hiring a coach, going to couples therapy, or it just might be time to make a new choice. Just saying. Take care of your mental health. You may have noticed some signs of a supposed midlife crisis: sadness, irritability, less interest in life, thoughts of death. They all resemble depression. So it's always helpful to connect with somebody that can help you, especially if these feelings persist for more than 1 or 2 weeks. If they affect your relationships, your friendships, or your job performance, if they get in the way of your daily routine, or they make it difficult to take care of your basic needs. Keep in mind that mental health symptoms certainly show up for the first time you approach middle age, but it's possible through it's also possible that mild anxiety or depression can get worse as you grapple with these life changes. So therapy can absolutely help. It is okay not to be okay. It's okay to ask for help. Asking for help a it is not weakness. Asking for help is strength. Asking for help is strength. And so ask for help, whatever that means. Therapists, they specialize in offering these support in these life transitions that we all experience. And so the bottom line is, as you approach the twilight of your life. Don't think of your life as ending. After all, the sun is going to set and rise again, and rise it will, and on the dawn of the rest of your life. And so these things are gonna come up. We're not special. You remember I told you, my mentor asked me, she said, Darlaina, you think you special? You're not special. Everybody experiences these. So with all that being said, I got a challenge. Challenge. You ready for the challenge? So what we know is that this is all about life, and it's all about time. And what are you doing with your time? If you're not happy with what you're doing, then what are you doing? And a lot of times people don't even know what they're doing. It's like, oh my God, it's not enough time in the day. Oh my God, how many meetings, emails, deadlines, and soccer practice and football practice and baseball. Oh my God. And so the goal is, you know how many hours there are in a week, right? 168 hours in the week. So we're going to do a challenge where we're going to track our 168 hours starting next week. We're going to log on. And I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty too. So I know I want my time back. So I was going to do it for myself. So I said, let me just put it out there. We could do it together. So it's 168 hours in a week. We're going to log how we spend every day down to the half hour for a full week. And what we're going to find out is that there is more opportunity to balance our work and our family than what we really believe. So I have I'm going to send it to DJ Lynn probably, because she can share it with everybody. Or I don't know. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do it. So this is a log that says, where does the time go? Sleeping, eating, bathing, working, volunteering, chores, attending class, studying, transportation, group activities, time with friends, attending events, exercise, all that. And then this one has Sunday to Saturday, 6 a.m. all the way to 12 midnight. Some of y'all may start a little bit earlier, which means you got a little bit more time. So I'm going to figure out how to get it to everybody, but we're going to start on next Sunday, the challenge. So I'm going to figure out where we're going to house it all and let you know. But yeah, we're going to do our challenge, 168 hours. 168 hours per week, and we're going to do our challenge.
Why not Monday?
Monday?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do Monday. We can do Monday.
Because we don't do, yeah, I think if we do it on, everybody will be on that call Monday.
Okay, we can do it Monday.
You know, it's too Monday.
So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I figure out how I'm going to put everybody together.
You can put it, well, first and foremost, why don't you put it in our room, the LCA?
Yes.
Like sciences, and then we'll leave it up to them. Like, come on now, we got to get this thing correct. I
don't want to waste no more time. I can't waste no more time.
Time.
I'm ready. No. Yeah, so we're going to do that. 168-hour work week. And you can always Google too. Those forums come up too. I think I might do like a Facebook group so we can talk about it. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun. Yeah, so we put everybody together. We all talk about our 168 hours a week and what we do and how we do it and what we're finding out. What you're gonna find out that you do or don't do. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Amen.
So go. Back to you. It's 10:01.
It is 10:01. Hey, blame Darlaina. Give it up for Darlaina.
Woo! I needed to hear this.
Excellent. Look at Marcus.
What Marcus saying?
All right, Marcus. What midlife crisis have you been battling with?
Woo, Lord. Excellent.
We ain't got enough time for that. That's another call.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Well, I need to know what y'all think, because this is how I need feedback. Maybe not right now, but I take feedback. Like, let me know what you thought.
Yeah, this was a blessing, a confirmation on some things I had already been thinking about, and it's caused me to stretch out even a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really awesome.
Excellent.
I gotta get a new seat and a new kickstand for my bike, so I can pull that out. Yep. and get it working.
That's good.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all go ahead and take control over your life, because if you don't, somebody else will. We get that thing correct. And that was a great awareness class. Again, if you got anything, go to the LCA and write something down. Like, what did you get out the class? Put something out there and let us know what you're hearing, because guess what? It's you that matters at the end of the day. Absolutely. Right? We are special and we believe in ourselves. So God bless you. Have a good day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same station. Desmond says, good class.
What did he say? Is it okay to have what?
Look.
He said a harem. Is it okay to have a harem? He ain't right. He ain't right. Listen, if you can handle a harem, brother, by all means, do so. And let look and make sure you
let us know how you make out with that.
Yes, that's what I want to know. Right? Let's go. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Hey, Darlaina, you got to cut the class off because you're the host.
Okay, all right. Bye. God bless.
Bye.
There we go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some great information from this call today. And I hope that you will join the 168-hour challenge. We're going to start it on Monday. Probably go Monday to Monday. We're going to do it for 7 days. 7 days, 168 hours in a week. What are you doing with your week? So if you want to be a part of the challenge, by all means, put your email address in and we will make sure that you get the forms in order for you to follow along and track. All right. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye for now. Thank you for watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Periscope. You guys are amazing. If you're watching in replay, please let me know. Bye for now.